Does it feel like something got erased?
Yeah.
Test, was something erased?
Yeah. Again, speak now.
Do you
Definitely.
feel more empty?
Shall I test that question?
Do you feel
Or
like
shall I?
emptier than? Yeah, you could test it, or you could just answer it. Do you feel emptier than you were?
Empty. I feel light, though I don't know. Okay, I don't know if empty is the right word. I feel light and I feel clear. So, if, yeah, so that has been a big difference. And I think it's just a matter of going through the lessons and listening to, not listening, actually reading the questions. It sort of like triggers off a few things in my mind, that were not on the questions, that were not written in the immune dysfunction list. I was coming up with my own questions that needed to be addressed urgently, as I would say.
Well,
what
what were like? Tell me some of the questions you came up with.
Some of the questions that came straight to my mind were things like, "Oh, I'm intelligent. I'm confident. I am beautiful and attractive." Questions like that. And I was thinking, where's all this coming from? But it was coming from like the top of my head, and it was coming out urgently. It's like saying, forget about the list, the list of dysfunction. This is what needs to be addressed now. So, and I didn't even have time to write down all these things that were coming out of my head, because I was thinking, I don't want to break the cycle, and I want to be, well as quickly as I can. So, yeah. So that's what was going on with me.
Well, you can. It's okay to slow down and write them down, because they don't go away.
Yeah, that's right.
What I'm not understanding, I don't really understand what the shift was. Like, what is so important about taking your clothes to the cleaners? Why? I mean, you were fine before. Your medication wasn't hurting you. You could always have taken your clothes to the cleaners.
Okay.
I mean, you were going around. You were going salsa dancing when they open, and you were gonna, you just were taking all these trips around town and everything. You have never really had any, like, you cured your medication allergies weeks ago. So I don't really know what I don't really know what you're talking about. I don't actually understand what you're telling me. What do you? So what are you telling me?
Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is that my skirt has been sitting, that needed to be mended. It's been sitting on my sofa in a plastic bag for a little while now. I was saying to myself, I'll take it to the dry cleaners, but I won't take it just yet. And I don't think there would be a time to take it, but I just got up this morning. I says, come on, we need to get things done, and I said, oh yes, that skirt. And I just took it to the dry cleaners this morning. I would probably wait until the afternoon to do that. But I just feel within myself, I just want things to be done. That's the shift, is getting things done. ASAP.
So you mean this had nothing to do with your cancer or your medication allergies?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
What did it have to do with? What did it have to do with?
It had to do with me, and like I said, to get things done, not waiting until, I don't know, next week, to get it done. It's like, look, I can do it now. You know, why wait until next week?
So you're telling me like you were dysfunctional like this before the cancer, before you've always you've been like this for how? When would you say? Since when were you like this as a child?
Yeah, before the cancer. Yeah.
Were you like this when you were 10 years old?
No, I would say I was like this from in my late 20s, early 30s, yeah.
So this is it's, okay. Test, is it an immune dysfunction?
Yeah.
And test, did I cure it?
Yeah.
So actually, and so tell me again, like, how did you cure this? What were the things you did that changed you? Like you were telling me a story, right? You and I were talking the other day, and we were doing proactions.
That's right.
So what happened?
I don't know. I'm still trying to get my head around it, actually. Yeah, so after I had spoken to you.
Yeah, after we hung up.
After we hung up. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. It's like the following, you know, I was feeling very happy and cheerful, and I just found, you know, the following morning when I got up, I just noticed, you know, a change in me. You know, I was taking on board what you were saying, and I think I was going over and over it in my mind, and it probably was, you know, embedded, and it started to make sense, like a jigsaw, putting pieces in a jigsaw puzzle. And like I said, then a shift just came and said, Angela, I noticed, you know, you've been like this for a long time. You know, it's like something was talking to me, like someone was talking to me in my head saying, you know, you need to change. You know, you can't carry on like this.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
And what happened? What happened then?
Yeah, then I was thinking to myself, yeah, I do need to change, because if I don't, I'm going to carry on, you know, drifting, that's the word. I will continue to drift along in life instead of taking on responsibility for myself, like taking the bull by the horn. You know, you be in control this time, and you decide, you know, where your life wants to go. You know, don't drift along with everybody else. Just drift. You know, watching TV, that's a way of drifting as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, cut down on watching TV and just do more of the lessons, because you enjoy it, don't you? And I said, yes, I do enjoy the lessons.
So you were having this conversation with yourself, you mean?
Yeah.
You were talking to yourself, okay.
Yeah.
And this is after the session where I asked you if you were powerful. Remember, you said you said I'm powerful?
I think that's what, actually, as you mentioned that, I think that's where the shift actually started to take place. Because after I spoke to you on the phone, I remember I went to the mirror, I said, I'm powerful. You know, I said, me, really? You know, and I think it started to have an effect on me. Emotionally had an effect on me. I said, well, if I'm powerful, then powerful people don't sit around watching TV a lot, like 2 hours or something like that, or 3 to 5 hours. I said, you need to do something that's going to cause a change, you know, in you. And if you could change, then obviously you'd be able to change people, you know, or maybe, you know, even the world.
Yeah.
So that came to me. Another thing that happened yesterday as well, I must tell you, is that I just went out to the West End, and I inquired about the film that you mentioned to me,
Yeah,
which was Gandhi.
Right. Uh-huh.
And apparently he says, the actual film. And I said, yes, the film. And he went on the computer and he says, oh yes, we've got one in store. And he said, I'll try and find it for you. He went away and he found it. And I thought, how much is this going to cost me now? Because I don't really have that much money. And he said, oh, it's £3, which is quite,
yeah, right.
quite cheap. Yeah, which is roughly about, I don't know what that is, probably £4 in $4 maybe.
It's cheap for a movie. I mean,
yeah,
it's definitely cheap for a movie.
I mean, I was planning to rent it, but when I went up West End and he was saying, oh, it's £3, I said, well, I've got £3 in my purse. No, I might as well get it. So I got it, I brought it home. And also you were talking about the outliers.
Yeah.
The story. I was at West End and I went to the bookshop and they had it there. So I said to myself, well, since it's there, I might as well just buy it. At the same time, I would still like to get it on CD. And I went to Amazon this morning and they have it there on Amazon for about, I think it's about £14. So I'm gonna sort that out next week.
Well, you know, there are companies where you can get it for probably £5.
Really?
Yeah, they sell these CDs for half price.
Okay.
On the web, they're on the web. So that's what mine was about $5.
Okay.
Yeah, Franny got me. It was just as good as a new one. It was fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
We never buy retail new things. Well, you know, this is a church. You know, we can't pay retail for anything. We're a church. We have to think about our donors and how they give us their hard-earned money, and we can't just spend it willy-nilly. You know.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, it's called stewardship. That's the term in church lingo. Stewardship means you're spending God's money, so you have to be really careful.
Oh, right, okay.
It's all God's.
There's another word as well for it. I can't think right now.
You're right. It's all God's money. We're quaking. We quake in our boots as we spend it. You know.
Yeah.
Or fear of the Lord.
Yeah.
So okay, so you started to feel really powerful, and you put away you took your blouse to the cleaners and did all that stuff. And I guess then was that when you started doing the proactions?
I started. Yeah, when did I start the proaction? I started a little bit of it yesterday, just reading through actually. And then I started properly, today.
And then
start answering the questions.
And then you started seeing your own proactions?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
You know, so in other words, you were looking at the ones in the lesson, and all these new ones started popping into your head?
They pushed in. That's the way I could describe it. They pushed in. They pushed themselves in front of the immune dysfunction list, yeah.
you know that is. Well, I want you to test the question: is that God talking to me?
Yeah, I got a signal straight away.
Yeah, see, you gave God an opening to speak with you.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we remember. You were asking about your spirit guide.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember asking you. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that spiritual guidance pushes in.
Okay.
Like that when you're open to it. You were open.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
You opened up.
Mm-hmm. And I must tell you as well, getting the DVD on Gandhi and purchasing the book, it was, to me, it was like a feeling of achievement.
Really?
Yesterday, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling of achievement, because you spoke to me about the book, at least I think it was yesterday, and you spoke to me about the video, the DVD on Gandhi a few days ago. And I remember what you said. You said, you know, when you speak to me, you know, try my best to actually accomplish what you tell me to do on the day, if you can.
Yes.
I said, yeah. I said, I really want to try and do that. And I got the DVD and the book, so it was a big accomplishment for me. So I'll give myself a clap for that.
Well, I think the accomplishment is this wonderful energy we're seeing here in this session together. That you just look so clear and happy.
Yeah, I do. I feel very comfortable as well.
Does it feel like something got erased?
Yeah.
Test, was something erased?
Yeah. Again, speak now.
Do you feel more empty?
Shall I test that question?
Do you feel like emptier than? Yeah, you could test it, or you could just answer it. Do you feel emptier than you were?
Empty. I feel light, though I don't know. Okay, I don't know if empty is the right word. I feel light and I feel clear. So if you say empty, I would say I feel empty of rubbish, but
right. Okay.
I feel with something else.
Okay.
Something else has faced it.
Okay.
The emptiness.
Okay, so that's great. So you feel empty of rubbish.
Yeah.
Really? Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like could you feel the rubbish when it was there? Were you aware of it?
No.
But now that it's gone, you remember that it was there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that I know it was there, but I wasn't aware that it was there at the time.
Like you can remember what it felt like to have the rubbish there.
Yes, yeah.
Like you can remember the rubbish. You know that it was there. You can remember what it felt like.
I can remember what it felt like. Yes, I can.
Do you know that everybody is like this? Everybody.
Really? Okay.
They don't know it's gone. They don't know they ever had it till it's gone.
Yeah, that's right.
Like they don't know it's there till it disappears.
That's right. And I think when it disappears, for me, it's like it's disappeared and something else has now taken its place. So because something else positive now has taken its place, then I realize that it was there. Yeah, if that makes sense. So that's a great thing.
So far in your work with me, your medication allergy symptoms have disappeared.
Yes, that's right.
And you were supposed to not be able to get out of bed, and you've been completely fine.
Yeah.
Because the doctor told you the like they gave you a walker, right?
Yes, I do have a walker. It's in the kitchen, folded up.
Yeah, they gave you a walker because they thought you were going to need a walker on the medication, yes?
Yes, yeah.
Well, I got news for you. I got a friend up the street who just won't even look at this. And he has bone cancer too, and he's using his walker.
Oh, he is. Okay.
He can barely walk. I know exactly what your symptoms are supposed to look like because Bob, who's 3 houses away from me, has the exact disease you have. He has bone cancer.
Right.
And I went into his house and I said, let's look at the website together. And you know what he said to me? He said, oh, the computer isn't booted up and it'll take 10 minutes to boot up. And I didn't have 10 minutes to wait, so I said, well, boot it up and look. He never looked.
Oh, right. Oh,
Never even looked.
I'm so sorry.
I am sorry too, and I'm going to have to drop by again, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it'd be good if you could watch my movies.
It would definitely be. It would definitely be good. That's absolutely right. So also, your tumor is shrinking. Your tumor markers are shrinking, and tomorrow you're going back to the hospital for more tests. Yes.
For more treatment, I would say.
Oh, more treatment. You're starting the chemo again.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I suppose they, like when you say test, they will be, yeah, that's right, and testing as well, because they will be taking blood from me to be tested again, yeah.
Okay.
So testing, yes, that's right, yeah.
Did you always intend to cure this with chemo when you first knew you had the cancer?
No, no. I'm not really a big believer in chemo. I always, try to avoid it and try to go for more natural, healthy things, really.
Well, it does seem to be working, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, yes.
So that's interesting. Well,
yeah.
Have you thought that maybe you're doing well enough so that you could stop doing the chemo and just continue on with what you're doing with, IMMUNICS and cure the cancer that way?
It has crossed my mind, actually. It has crossed my mind.
Of course, on the other hand, the chemo doesn't seem to be hurting you.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't seem to be troubling me that much at all.
Yeah, so, it doesn't seem like there's really any reason to stop it.
At the same time, yeah. Yeah.
If you're fine.
I know, obviously. Well, if I can, continuing on the chemo is until the ending of April. I know that the doctors will be taking all the glory. Well, it's our chemo that worked, but yeah.
And what are you doing with the grapes still? Are you on the grapes?
Oh, I still, yeah. I blended some last night, so I had some last night, and I was drinking water throughout the night, and I've still got some left in the fridge that I need to finish once I've finished talking with you on Skype. So I'm still doing the grapes, and it's been great.
And you're going to continue. You're going to continue with that till the cancer.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
How much weight? How much weight have you lost?
Well, I was 11 stones 5.
Right.
And now I am 10 stones 6.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
So that's pretty good. So you're going to keep going until you're how many stones are you going to be when you?
I think for me and my height, I think for me the lowest I can go is 9 stones, which is, I don't know, what's that? I'm not sure what that is in pounds. Probably like 100 probably 25.
Yeah, okay.
Or 20, 120 or 100.
We get the so we're going for 9 stones, and you're 10.6 right now.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, we'll be looking for the 9 stones. All right. And
oh dear, this is pressure on me now. Yeah.
And I want you to test the question. Ask this question: does God care whether you continue the chemo or not?
I'm not getting a signal there.
Yeah, well, you know, I just noticed I wasn't caring very much about it either, so you could continue it or stop. I guess it's just a sort of an elective or arbitrary thing. It's really up to you.
Yeah.
Let's see, I wanted to ask you also, test this question. Am I a minister?
Getting a slight signal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like you need to do more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more likely, yeah.
Can you see any... Here, test this question. Have I abdicated my responsibility as a minister in any way since the last time we spoke about it?
All right, can you just repeat the question? I'm just going to test as you repeat the question.
Okay, have I abdicated my responsibility as a minister since I discovered that I am one a few weeks ago?
Right, I'm not getting a signal there.
Okay, very good. Can you identify any ministerial things you've done since you realized you were a minister, a while back?
I'm just thinking. Right. Right. Okay. When you say administerial, regards to myself, I think I've been administrating too.
So you've been ministering to yourself, okay.
Right, yeah, so like helping myself to become a better person.
Okay.
As regards to ministering to people, I think in a sense, like two ways, like people watching my movies.
Right.
I suppose in a sense I'm ministering to them.
Well, yes, that's true, of course. And go on.
But as regards to me advertising to, well, I did try advertising to my friends. It wasn't wasn't positive.
Okay, so here, I want you to test. What was one of the ways I have ministered by telling my friends, sending my friends an email with my movies. Emailing my movies to my friends. Is that one of the ways I ministered?
Yeah.
Okay, is another way by making the movies and talking to people who watch them.
Yeah, that's one way of ministering.
Okay, is another way by posting comments on movies on the web about cancer.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
So that's there's 3 ways right there.
Okay.
Is tweeting about what I'm doing another way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the signal. Yeah.
You know, you tend to measure your worth by how other people react to you.
Yeah, I do.
You know, like you sent your movies to your friends and they didn't watch them, so you decided you weren't a good minister. But actually, you're just as good a minister as if they did watch you.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter what they do. What matters is the quality of what you do. That's what makes you a minister or not.
Right.
It's what you do, not what anybody else does. So if if you hold a church service and no one comes, you're still ministering just as well as if 100 people come.
Okay. Understand.
You know, God comes.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Well, you could just test right now if have I been getting signals from God while I've been testing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't need anybody but God to show up.
Yeah, that's right.
And God always does show up.
He does.
Okay, I want to show you something about your comment. You were working the scale of interests when you were working the proactions. Can you explain to me how you were working the scale of interests?
I think with the scale of interest, it was to do with levels.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the correct
And
word to use.
Tell me again what proactions pushed in on you, the ones that popped into your mind that God gave you.
About I'm becoming confident.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm phrasing that properly. Beautiful and attractive.
Good.
It's quite a few of them. Beautiful and attractive, confident. Wealth. Yeah, another one was on wealth. The one about powerful, that one came up as well. I mean, I'm powerful.
I'm powerful, okay. And when you were doing that, you were bringing yourself up on the scale of interests.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Because look at the scale of interests. Let me just show you. This is the scale of interests, okay? And at the top is manifesting. When you did a proaction saying that you were wealthy, you brought yourself up on this scale.
Wow.
Also,
look at that.
when you said that you were beautiful and attractive,
yeah,
what you were doing was you were actually working yourself off the bottom of this. You see, it was
right.
One of them is sex, and the other is removal of pain and hurt, and another one is health. And you were moving yourself off this and up to self-worth, money, abundance. You see that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So you actually see the way you work the scale of interests is to, sometimes it's just to do a lot of other lessons.
Yeah, and it's so funny you should say that, because the scale of interest, I took it out of my my folder with the photocopies.
Yes,
but I hadn't really looked at it or paid attention to it. I was going to, I hadn't. So I'm quite surprised to see that even though I hadn't looked at that sheet, I was coming out with things that were on the sheet, even though I hadn't looked at it as yet.
Yeah, you were curing the problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were curing the problems. Well, you know what? Number one, we did look at it, and you looked at it, and you did print it, and so on. So you were connected. You connected yourself to it. And two, you don't have to look at it to work it.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't look at it to work it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, you really don't have to look at something to work it.
Great.
Area code 813-672-3419. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da.